issue that the cabinet considered was a presentation by the Minister for East African Affairs on the implementation of the 21st East African Community Directive to adopt Kiswahili as an official language of the East African Community. Cabinet recommended that the teaching of Swahili language in primary and secondary schools should be made compulsory and examinable. And we also agreed that to start with, we should arrange training programs for members of parliament, members of cabinet, and members of the media, so that in the near future when I come here to brief you, I should brief you in Kiswahili, and you also ask questions in Kiswahili. Because as you know, our Ugandan constitution clearly states that Swahili is the second official national language. But we took note of the fact that Uganda has lagged behind in terms of practicing the use of Swahili as a national language. When you look at the East African community countries, from Tanzania to Kenya to Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, South Sudan, in those countries Swahili is fairly well spoken and understood. But in Uganda, I am sure if you challenged me now to switch to Swahili, I would fail actually to tell you what we discussed, because my Swahili is extremely basic, and that tells you the story about Swahili in Uganda. So we had an extensive discussion, and we took note of that gap, and all of us understand probably why. One of the reasons why Uganda has been slow in adopting Swahili is our history. I think in the past regimes, when the army was anti-people, Swahili was the language of the army. Now, so Ugandans developed a negative attitude towards Swahili. There was even a story in one of the dailies, the papers, some time back, that thieves attacked a home in Makinde, and then the occupants of the house spoke in Swahili. When they spoke in Swahili, the thieves ran away. They knew the people must be armed, they must be military. So there is that wrong attitude which was developed. But we would want to sensitize and educate Ugandans that there is nothing wrong with Swahili. As we integrate the East African community, Swahili is a language which connects East Africans, and therefore the sooner we learn Swahili as Ugandans and be able to speak and communicate in Swahili, the better for us to fully be part of the East African community. When you go to Kenya and you move around in the shops, because Ugandans will ordinarily speak English, they immediately know you are a Ugandan. Because many Ugandans cannot ably speak and communicate in Swahili. So we took a decision that as Ugandans, let us abandon that wrong attitude against Swahili. We promote the teaching of Swahili as a language in our schools. Yes, I know Swahili is being taught in schools, but it is optional. It is optional. And now the move that we took was to make the teaching of Swahili compulsory and examinable, and through that, that's how our children, our young people will be able now to understand and know Swahili. That's how we all speak English, because when you go into the school system, English is compulsory, it's examinable. So by the time you go through the school system, English becomes very easy to comprehend, to speak, to communicate. And that's why all of us can easily speak English with confidence that you wanted. So we would want to create that environment for Swahili. When you go for meetings, the East African community, you find they talk in Swahili, then for you, a Ugandan, you have to look for somebody to translate and bring you to speed with the rest of the others. For instance, we agreed that on every cabinet day, we are going to have lessons. We start cabinet at 10, but we agreed from 9 to 10, we shall have 1 hour lesson of Swahili. But we also agreed we shall do the same for Parliament and you members of the media. We're now going to see who are the first learners, whether cabinet members, MPs, or you, the media. So we would want, as we start this move to ensure that Ugandans embrace Swahili as a language for communication in Uganda.